Episode 1, Sunday with Buds. Here we are again. And the reason I say again is because we fucked this up many times.
Yes, we have.
I think this is our 5th try. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm joined by my main bud, Leah Astori, who agreed to help me out with this little intro because I need help.
I'm happy to help.
Yes. She is a content creator in her own right, amazing photographer.
Aw. Thank you.
And she taught me how to use YouTube. Help me set up the channel today
Trying.
for what I hope is going to be an amazing podcast.
I hope so too.
So, she's heard the podcast that you're about to hear already.
Yeah,
She thinks it's good.
I do. I
you?
think it's super interesting.
You're not lying to me.
I'm not. I
Okay.
swear.
All right. It's a throwback episode. That's how we're starting this out. Episode 1 is an old episode that I recorded on Thanksgiving Day with my
Yes.
Uncle Joe. Favorite person in the whole world. Shaped my childhood. Shaped who I am today. Told me what kind of music to listen to. Told me what kind of movies to watch.
He made you pretty cool, honestly.
Hey, that's all him. But unfortunately, he did some bad things, and he's lived a life because of it.
Yeah, he's lived quite a life.
And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to, Uncle Joe stories. So, he's going to be a recurring guest over and over and over, I hope. Because the guy can fucking go. He can talk. He's lived a life. So, I think that's really all we need to say about it. What do you think?
I think so too.
All right.
Yeah.
See, this one's great.
I know.
We did like 5 tries before this where we went for like 10 minutes just babbling about
Yeah. I mean, you'll all get to hear more from the two of us at some point.
Oh, she's going to have many episodes too.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to tell my stories.
Her last name is Astori. Astori.
Yes.
Astore.
Pronounced a story.
Astori. Tell me a story.
Yep. I've been hearing that all my life, and I'm ready to tell my story, so.
Do you want to like plug your Instagram or anything like that? I mean,
I mean, I
not like
guess.
not many people will be listening to this first episode.
If anyone would like to see more, they can follow me at LEAHASTORE. I'm at that at pretty much every social handle, so.
There you go. There you go. That's where you go for the magic. All right. Sunday with Buds, episode 1.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Next week we'll have a current one.
Yeah. Oh, God. I hate that.
Ooh, that mic smells. All right, guys. Enjoy.
Have fun. You're gross.
This one works.
Yay!
Well.
Weird. All right, fellers.
Ladies and gents.
Ladies and gents, welcome to episode 1 of Sunday with Buds. Now, this is not a Sunday. Obviously, it's a Thursday because
It's Thursday.
this is Thanksgiving. But you know what? It's my podcast, and I figure that I make the rules. It doesn't have to be recorded on Sunday. I'll just release it on Sunday.
We can pretend.
Yeah, we can pretend.
It's also
Oh man,
suspended
Sunday morning.
animation.
This is the Lord's Day. But anyway, we just finished Thanksgiving dinner. Did some Korean barbecue for dinner because we're non-traditional. All right, so for episode 1, I got the best guest I could possibly imagine.
Wow, stop it.
It's my Uncle Joe.
Just
Now, if anybody knows me, I love to make music. I love to make movies, videos. Now, everything that I got into as a young person is because of this guy right here. I'll never forget the one day where I went, I hadn't seen Joe in a little while. I was probably 9 years old. And he goes, hey, what do you listen to these days? And I showed him, and it was Jammin' 94.5. And he goes, that's cool. Because he loves rap too, but I was listening to all the shit that was on Jammin'.
for anybody who doesn't know, I mean, there might be folks who
Yeah, sure.
we don't know how far this is going to reach.
Yeah.
And wishful thinking. But if anybody doesn't know, 94.5 is your typical
That's right.
hip hop morning.
I don't even know. Does Jammin' exist?
Pop. Yeah, it's still
Okay,
out
it's
there.
still out
Yeah,
there, all right.
jamming. They have like a freaking Puerto Rican
That's right.
DJ or something. That's what they call him. That's not a, we're not being. That's Manny, the freaking Puerto Rican,
Something
like
like
that.
yeah.
I don't know, but that coming from the urban areas of where we grew up, that's like your typical kind of reverting back to the Saturday Night Fever. You have like the greasers and the suburban kids, or the Rockets, kind of like that deal. So this guy, right, was listening to, and I had to straighten him.
Well,
straighten him out.
He said, Berto, what do you listen to? I'm like, dude, I love jamming. And he introduced me. He goes, dude, you got to listen to WFNX 101.7.
Right, the Phoenix.
The Phoenix,
radio
WFNX,
station.
does not exist anymore, by the way. And all of a sudden, I heard rock and roll. Like, it was like Green Day, Jane's Addiction,
It was
Nirvana.
the local alternative radio station
And
affiliated with Emerson College. I think.
And
Is
all
that
of a
right?
sudden-
that might not be right. Don't quote me on that.
I have no idea, but dude, that was it. Ever since then, I was off to the races, man. And you lived at my house for a little while when you were 22. You
Yep.
were waiting tables at Fridays.
His mom is my sister,
babys-
hence the nephew uncle.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. You were babysitting us, and you left a bass guitar at the house.
Yes.
And I was watching TRL, and I was jamming to Kid Rock on TRL with the fucking bass. And
Rock.
dude, ever since then, after you moved out, you left your CD collection.
Yep. I
That
did.
big leather. Kids, back in the day, people had big leather booklets full of CDs.
You actually had to physically carry
Dude,
your music
you had
around with you.
Led Zeppelin, you had Mazzy Star, you had Green Day, you had Alice in Chains,
Bob Marley.
Dude, you had everybody in there.
Or
Dude.
a bunch of local stuff.
And
yeah.
I fell in love with music.
Yeah.
And dude, that's why I make music, man. And this guy right here is the reason I dude, he left the first bass at my house. I just bought my first Fender bass the other day.
Yep.
It's like a big,
And I've created a monster there. This guy, if you look
So,
around this room, it's full of instruments.
we don't look
and,
related. Because my dad poisoned the bloodline with some brown DNA, but
yeah,
we're all Boston Irish, pretty much.
not Southie though.
No, not so
Don't
much.
get it twisted. We're
Fuck you taking off.
Eastie, born and raised.
East Boston, there we
Yeah,
go.
we were actually raised as Genzos.
Yeah, pretty much. We were raised as Italians. Even though we have barely any Italian blood in us. We got like 12.5% Italian blood. But anyway, all I wanted to tell you people is that this guy is the reason why, dude, video games, music, art, all the things I love, he got me started.
You got to have someone to show you the way. I didn't. My brothers were,
Your brothers was
a
in the
lot
military.
older. They were like,
all
one
in
was in Vietnam.
Two of them were in Vietnam.
Right.
Freddie and Steven, Air Force, Vietnam.
Steve wasn't in Vietnam.
No?
No, they were both in the Air Force. Though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Freddie
just
was in
right.
Vietnam.
Yep.
I mean,
my
his
oldest
hair is all
brother.
gone from that Agent Orange and shit like that.
I don't know if that's why his hair is gone, but you'd have to
he
talk
won't-
to him about.
Yeah, but he won't stop talking about it. He always blames it on the Agent Orange.
Yeah, he was. Those guys were exposed to that. That's they definitely. You can't hate on Vietnam vets, man.
No, you can't.
Especially on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. This is America's holiday.
But
I'm over here shitting on my own uncles.
they're of the age that they're a couple of generations older than me, and this guy's a good generation coming up behind me. So someone had to show him the way, and man, he took the ball and ran with it. He's making me proud here.
Dude, I couldn't stop, man. You left Biggie Smalls ready to die. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. I'm a bad man. Dude,
we were just eating Thanksgiving to Biggie.
Yeah, man.
Not too
Dude, there were days when I was a kid, man. I grew up without a dad, like broken homes, man, all around. And my mom had to go work on the weekends. She had to go waitress.
God bless her. She did.
Dude, and by the way, people, I'm looking at you into the camera. My mother worked at some good-ass Italian restaurants, okay? She was no slouch. She was not a normal waitress. She was a ninja when it came to that shit. But anyway, she had to leave us alone. Someone had to watch us. We would drive around with Joe. You had a Monte Carlo for a little while. And you would just blast Biggie in the fucking speakers, and dude, that was my education. And to this day, man, that's
Yeah.
why I appreciate music. We'd play Fugazi.
Took
we
the
would play
kiddies on a few hayrides.
Sonic Youth. We would play fucking Jay Mascis. Oh, man. But anyway, so that's who he is. And also, it goes without saying, you know, this is a little personal, but you were addicted to heroin.
Absolutely.
And so was my father. My father's
Sure.
addicted to crack. I grew up in a house of role models who were addicted to drugs.
Yeah, not the best male role models
the
for
best,
this
but,
guy.
hey, you
Got to
know-
give him credit for rising above.
Yeah, man, I've been at the same job
Young
for 10
brother.
years. You know, I've never been to rehab. Not yet, but maybe someday.
It's always a yet.
It's always a yet.
Rehab's all right, man. Hey, I can't. Rehab's all right. Don't look. That's where I met. I met Karen, my
His
girlfriend.
current woman, his wife,
in
essentially.
her name is Karen, by
Yeah.
the way. And yeah, we met in rehab. That's
look-
actually yeah.
We have a ton of other shit to get into when it comes to that whole subject. Karen, his girlfriend.
I'm not promoting rehab, folks, by any means. I'm just saying, in my
Hey,
experience,
it's a relaxing escape.
you can make the best of any situation, and that's exactly what I did. Please, if you do not have to go to rehab, let me just make this disclaimer. By all means, avoid it. But if you do have a problem, rehab is a good place to go to deal with it, and you can have fun.
Yeah.
there. If
As long as
you
you're
need
not-
to take a quick,
As long as you're not
tune up.
poor. If you're poor, rehab sucks.
Yeah, like I was.
You're gonna end up at the Shattuck shelter like my father on Thanksgiving.
Been there.
Yeah, the Shattuck.
Yeah, I've been there.
Hey guys. Hey, shout out to the Shattuck shelter.
Shout out to the Shattuck. I was
I've-
kicked out of the Shattuck. Pretty
I've done a
bad,
couple
man.
Thanksgivings at the Shattuck shelter serving food. Like serving food to people like my father.
Volunteering
Who were
his time.
staying at the Shattuck shelter. Guys, if you've never known, people in your family who are addicts, you have no idea what we're talking about. But for those of you who know exactly what we're talking about, all right, happy Thanksgiving. But anyway,
Happy Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
for all the addicts and those that love them.
absolutely. Dude, but anyway, this motherfucker is like a fucking well of stories. And when I finally write my movie, it will definitely be based off a story that this guy told me. Now, do you have a story that's related to Thanksgiving that you can tell in maybe 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, we're gonna
wrap
10,
this
10,
up.
10 minutes is that's a narrow margin for me. But being our first cruise out here on
You
the,
don't have to tell
on
me.
the interweb. No, well, I actually do. When you mentioned the whole rehab thing, something came to mind quick. Not really knowing exactly what we were gonna talk about, but that Ching brought something up. Rehab was the thing that was the trigger. And since I mentioned where I met Karen, God, there's a good story. I will try to. There's a lot of details, and that's just how I tell.
Well, I mean,
my
we could
stories.
cliffhang this motherfucker.
We might leave a cliffhanger. We'll see where we get.
Tell the
with it.
intro, tell like half of it, and then do the cliffhanger at your place.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'll hit on all the on all the major points anyway. So rehab. Let's rewind this back to the holidays, just after Thanksgiving, circa 2010, the new part of 2010, right after the new year. Yes, I was actually in a rehab at that time, and I think it was in Lynn, and I had actually been on a run of rehabs, which is, I think that was, I had been in, I know that it's not right to laugh about that, but it is kind of laughable. I wasn't even really, it's kind of a thing to do in the system if you don't have anywhere to go and it's cold. I wasn't even really strung out on anything in
Yeah, but
particular at the
You
time.
go to a
but
shelter, right? If
I
you have to.
yeah, I was domestically challenged at the time, and
No
needed
home.
to right.
No
that,
home. No home.
and I did need somewhere to go, and being of the nature of an addict, I knew that you could go to a homeless shelter, and that anybody from Boston knows that's kind of a rough tour. Or you can get a little bit better treatment if you go to a detox in a rehab. And it's not like I didn't, I shouldn't have been in a place anyway. I just, was kind of prolonging the agony. But I wasn't like physically in withdrawal when I went in, I guess. So anyway, after bouncing from place to place over the course of between Thanksgiving and New Year's, I'm sitting in this place in Lynn and just hating it, because by the time I had gotten here, it was like the dregs of facilities, and it was very small. It housed like maybe 20 guys, 23 guys, or something like that, and like it had beds for like 2 women, maybe 3 women, just to get the whatever accreditations that they needed to be a co-ed sober house.
So they should be legit.
Yeah, so they could get a little bit more funding, they house men and women. But it was God forbid if an actual attractive woman was to come in there, they were like 23 newly sober savages, just
dude, everybody's getting their sensation back. Everyone's like, dude, I feel my dick again.
Everybody's dick's just starting to work again.
Starting to wake up. Yeah,
that was the situation with me. Ugh. But
God forbid you're a female drug addict coming back into that kind of place.
I like to think that I had the wherewithal to understand that.
Of course.
Listen, I'm in fucking rehab. It's not a nightclub. I'm not looking to, mac on some hottie. Well, I mean, I have like,
nightclub rehab.
Hey, babe, I got an EBT card that just turned on, and that's like $100. We can go out and fucking, I got you for a whole day.
Yo, baby girl.
And then you're back, on a bench or waiting in line in another.
Yo, I got these cheeseburgers here, man. I got 10 cents.
Yeah,
I can get you a crack rock.
You can hook up the dollar menu at Mickey D's for that one hot night.
Dollar menu. Hey, man, I'd suck a dick for some dollar menu. Anyway, continue.
So
I love dollar menu.
In walks
that McRib. Sorry.
the McRibs.
Dude, McRibs. Shamrock Shake.
That's what we got to do next Thanksgiving, McRibs.
Just, do an all McDonald's menu?
All Mickey D's for Thanksgiving.
People do that shit. You know that, right? People order all KFC for for Christmas or Thanksgiving.
That's ghetto fabulous.
Dude, I mean, why not? You order Chinese food for Christmas. Why not?
But I diverge.
Anyway,
so where am I? I'm sitting on the couch in this Lynn. They actually called it a holding. Holding's a place that you go like in between a detox and like a longer term treatment facility, like a halfway house or something. It's usually like a 28-day place, and you apply, like applying to colleges, you apply to halfway houses.
Oh, that's where that Sandra Bullock movie came from.
Yeah.
And it was like 28 days later.
28 days,
It was like the zombie movie.
Oh, yes.
28 days later, Sandra Bullock escapes the zombies.
Right.
And gets sober.
Yeah. That's a good combo. Probably would have did better than that movie did for her.
Yeah,
Sorry, Sandra.
It gained a cult following. What are you going to do? 28,
So
anyway.
Here I am. I'm on this couch. I know better than to try to mac on a chick if she was to show up. There was some like older lady like that came out from under the bridge, crotchety, and that was slim pickings as far as women there. And like 2 weeks into my stay, I'm just my normal spot was the couch. There was this couch that went all the way around a room not much wider than this, and you kind of just looking at people all day. You weren't allowed to go upstairs to your room. You had to like ask permission to use the bathroom. Like I said, it was the dregs. And
damn, dude,
I'm minding my own business, just trying to get through the time. And one afternoon, I see the staff lady walk in, and following her with a bag is like a really hot girl, dark haired, very attractive, very shapely, well dressed. You could tell that she wasn't off the street and then she comes to this house of like I said 23 newly sober savages
Yeah.
with fucking hard-ons and
Yeah, just guys who have not seen normal life for a long time.
and I just, thought, oh man, here we go. This girl has no idea. The poor bird. She has no idea what she's getting into. And she comes in as she starts to filter into the program and hitting the meetings, and of course it's
Everyone's
just
trying to be her best friend.
dude, it's just
Let me
what
help
you
you.
expected. It's right. Let me help. And people are passing her notes, and
Dude, we're the worst.
guys are just
We are
trying
the
to,
worst.
to slide up on her and mac on her.
It's like, hey, motherfuckers, I know you're all drug addicts. I'm here.
right. I'm here too.
None of you
It's-
are my future husband.
Well, I mean, it's like you're at the club. What do you have to offer this
Yeah.
girl? Like, maybe, really, do you have an EBT? Cool. Like, that's about it. Like, nobody would be in this place if they had anything to their name.
course.
This is the last place you'd be. You'd be up at
course.
like ball paint or
You'd be out
or
in
at a
LA at
real
one of those like fancy fucking Ben Affleck
exactly
type rehabs.
Right. This is like a state funded. You go there because you have a mass health card.
Yeah,
and
this is this or sleeping on a bench.
that's your other option. But hey, despite the fact they all had the the self confidence to slide up on this chick like they were getting somewhere.
Hey, man.
Me personally, I tried to just be
So what happened?
a gentleman about it. Tried to be diplomatic, look at the situation from a transcendent point of view and say, what the fuck am I going to offer a girl right now? And just sit there. And I just watched my TV, and I pretty much probably came off kind of rude, because the girl would sit out in the kitchen in my line of sight.
You were probably the one dude she was looking at because of that.
Within a
Who's
couple of
that
days,
motherfucker?
a kid
I
that
bet he could get me the best drugs.
yeah, right. That cat's probably the guy that's holding. No, that
He's got all those HBO shows on his fucking computer.
yeah, he's got the hookup with all the good DVDs, which I
Anyway,
I
I'm sorry
did.
to interrupt. Continue.
No, so the chick, sure enough, man, sends a verbal kite to this other girl who came in who was like, okay, half decent looking. So that means like we were, now there's two half attractive girls in the place. We were, both beds were filled with, hot chicks. So another kid starts talking to her, and of course, the two girls are in the same room. So she sends word to the other girl to tell the kid to tell me, hey, I like Joe, and wouldn't tell him to talk to me. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Every kid in here hit on her. I mean, one kid, I guess, went as far as to write a note to her saying something straight out like, hey, meet me in the bathroom. I want to suck your cunt, and all this vile shit like that. That works. That works with, a chick who looks kind of
I'm sure it
classy.
works for some people.
It's, I've never tried it. Maybe
I've never tried the whole suck your cunt routine.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey, but you know what? You know what? I'm gonna file that away. I'll try out with my current girlfriend.
That didn't work out well for multiple MIGs, right? Didn't he say something? Oh, he could smell.
Oh, Mig,
Anyhow,
I smell your cunt.
I myself
Continue.
cannot, Clarice.
I myself cannot.
So
Oh, someone's coming up. Continue your story.
this
Let's wrap it
is-
up.
So anyhow, to try to get this wrapped up quickly, the best technique is to ignore, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah,
and
distance makes the heart grow fond.
as you know, and people around here know, that is where I met the lovely and talented,
Karen.
now love of my life.
No
Going
fu-
on almost 8 years later. This January will be 8 years later.
Wait, is that who you're talking about?
That's who I'm talking about. The very one and only.
You're talking about your current? Oh my
That is
god.
Karen, the one who made that nice turkey
I'm
cake
picturing some chick
downstairs.
who was done with you after rehab,
No, this is how I met Karen in rehab, boys and girls. And the story that continues from here is just,
Dude, it's a
you'd
roller
have to
coaster
hear
ride.
it to believe it. This is just the tip of
That-
the iceberg.
I didn't look, guys. I didn't know that he was talking about the chick who she's downstairs right now enjoying Thanksgiving dinner with my family. I
Soon.
did not know he was talking about his current woman.
His soon-to-be sister-in-law. Yeah.
And dude, I love Karen, man.
As do I. Yeah.
Glad that you guys are together. I know you guys have been through some crazy shit that I have no idea about.
Yeah, we I will admit we left detox together after that, and it's just
time.
been we'll get into that another
And
time.
you
But
guys have a child together too,
we do.
who you have yet to
Farioli.
meet.
Who I have, that's another part of the story. Yes, who I have, in fact, yet to meet.
Guys, it gets dense, man.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to talk about either. Like, it's pretty fucking. It sucks to talk about some of this, but hey, man, maybe we'll get into it. Maybe
I'll
we
make
won't.
it interesting, though. I promise.
you know, it's not
We'll
about-
laugh,
it's
we'll
not about
cry,
being
we'll have a good
interesting.
time. We'll wipe up, throw up later when it's all done with. But yeah,
Hey, man, you were my first best friend.
Likewise, man.
Thanks for being my first
Likewise.
guest, and this is it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for
guys.
having me. Happy Thanksgiving
All right,
to all.
Sunday with Buds. Peace.
Hope you enjoyed.
Thanks, dog.
You got it, man. Anytime.
I just broke.